some of you may have enjoyed watching the Golden Globes. Maybe you didn't enjoy it, but you did watch. There was at least one aspect of the Golden Globes I think many people on the conservative side were thrilled to see, and that was some of the remarks made by the host of Golden Globes, probably the last time he'll host the Golden Globes, Ricky Gervais. Go ahead, if you would please, Matt the Wonderful, back in Dallas, play that clip.
Welcome to the 77th Annual Golden Globe Awards, live from the Beverly Hilton Hotel here in Los Angeles. I'm Ricky Gervais, thank you. You'll be pleased to know this is the last time I'm hosting these awards, so I don't care anymore. I'm joking, I never did. But you all look lovely, all dolled up. You came here in your limos. I came here in a limo tonight, and the license plate was made by Felicity Huffman. So, spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up. I know he's your friend, but I don't care. If you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and... So...
Let me fill in the blank without saying any bad words. What he said, and the part they blanked out there was, come up, accept your little award tonight, come up, accept it, thank your agent and your God, and then F off. No one cares about your views on politics or culture. Well, I have to say, if you peruse the internet very often, you saw that many conservatives were cheering and clapping for this kind of put down coming from the stage at the Golden Globes and spoken to literally a room full of left-wing Hollywood activists. There are a tiny percent of them who aren't left-wing, but the vast majority left-wing Hollywood activists who not only happen to hold left-wing views, but who spout them at media conferences all the time, weigh in on topics about which they have no knowledge of any kind, but because of their position in Hollywood, they are quoted in the media. And that's the point I want to make about this in this first 5 today. These people truly do not know anything about most of the issues on which they express public opinions. A lot of us enjoyed hearing Ricky Gervais tell him so on stage. They couldn't do a thing about it, really putting them all down, mocking Thunberg at the same time he was mocking them. But I think the real value of this and why I appreciate that he had the nerve to do it is, number one, most of the pontificating from the stage at Golden Globes in the past, not that I watched, but I read about the next day, most of the pontificating is leftist pontificating. Leftists, complaints about President Trump, complaints about conservatives, complaints about anything they can think of that is anything associated with America. So it's nice to have someone on stage actually poking at them and pointing out the absurdity of their political opinions. But his remarks were really most valuable to the millions of Americans who tuned in, who may not realize how radically opinionated as well as uninformed Hollywood is. And that's really the value of it. I hope some people listening to those Golden Globes last night who may have thought, wow, I know what Tom Hanks thinks about X, so I'm informed because I know Tom Hanks' view. The idea that they tuned in and saw that audience have to react and hear what this man had to say, I think was very helpful. You think about how the media covers Hollywood. I mean, literally, they quote opinions by, political science experts and foreign policy experts and military policy experts like, Jennifer Aniston and other leftists, and do it with a straight and solemn face, especially if the opinions are anti-American, anti-conservative, anti-Republican, anti-Trump. So the idea that this guy stood on that stage, made those points, really called out all of Hollywood as, just ridiculous level, expressing opinions about which they have absolutely no knowledge, was a great thing. And you may be, if you're the kind of person who listens to my show, you probably also read a lot of websites and learn information and get your facts straight and understand, the issues facing America. But there really is an entire subculture of America who pretty much gathers their news from Facebook, Hollywood gossip magazines and gossip columns online and whatever the latest Hollywood star said. So to me, any opportunity when you had all those lefties tuned in to watch the Golden Globes to hear someone who spoke in a very eloquent and articulate way, basically saying these people know nothing. And I will say one last point in wrapping up my first 5 for today. It is true that everyone in the United States of America, even including in Hollywood, they have the right to free speech. I've heard people who defend Hollywood complain when conservatives are critical of people in Hollywood and saying, why don't they just shut up? They're idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. You know, they don't have to shut up. They're allowed to talk. They're allowed to talk just like Tea Party leaders are around this country, just like conservative officials in Washington are, just like every person has in this country. We all have the right to free speech. They don't have the right to spout off and block or silence criticism of them. And this is really when people defend Hollywood and they say, hey, they have the right to free speech too. No one's arresting them. Of course they have the right to free speech. They just don't have the right to speak without being the recipient of criticism by people who don't like what they said. So great, kind of great fun for conservatives, those who watch the Golden Globes, to hear this kind of, straight talk from the stage. The guy, as he says, he's probably not going to get this job again. It was great fun. But really, I will say the small benefit, I hope, the maybe silver lining is maybe some people tuned into this last night for the first time realized that not everyone thinks that Tom Hanks, Jennifer Aniston, and other leftists in Hollywood actually have anything relevant to say about policy in America. And that, my friends, is today 5.